I will begin by introducing our graduate program in applied computing to give you an overview of our program's structure, the main areas that we focus on, research tracks, our laboratories, and the research projects we are currently working on. Our program has begun in March 07 here in Itajaí, Santa Catarina. Today we have 2 locations for the applied computing program. The main one is in here, Itajaí, which has the largest faculty, and we have another one at the Cobrasol campus. While our primary focus is on teaching and research, we're not only limited to that. We also have projects aimed at providing services, much like what Univali offers across its different courses. For example, there is a department dedicated to providing services in various areas of expertise, from engineering projects up to chemical testing, for instance. Nowadays, we work with 2 main research tracks. The first is intelligent and educational systems, which focuses. I'm sorry, I'm not sharing my screen. Just a minute, Professor. I'm sorry.
Very good, thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry, Professor. I wasn't sharing my screen.
No, that's okay.
Can you see now?
Yes, absolutely.
Nice. So getting back to our research tracks, we work with 2 main research tracks. The first one is intelligent and educational systems, which focuses on research using artificial intelligence techniques to solve complex problems. For instance, intelligent agents research, they uses sensors to make forecasts and predictions using AI techniques like machine learning. And also on educational topics approached through computational methods and technologies such as application of NLP and cognitive computing techniques in education, with the focus here on education. And our second main research track is embedded and distributed systems, which involves investigating aspects related to the design of embedded computational systems and distributed computational systems, as well as the combination of both of them. For example, Internet of Things that covers architectures, technologies, and applications of embedded and distributed systems, which are integrated via the internet. These and other research topics are developed in 5 laboratories, which I will detail them shortly. So our goal here is to produce and to apply applied computing knowledge, integrating many different areas. They goes beyond computing. Okay, so later I will present our team that are coordinated by Professor Mauricio de Campos, Professor Cesar Zeferino is our vice coordinator, and we have also our dear and helpful secretary, Aline. One of the objectives of our conversation is related to our vision of being recognized as a leading group in the transfer of knowledge in applied computing technologies. However, no one can achieve such a goal alone, right? Therefore, we seek partnerships in research to identify potential areas for collaboration. So our talk here is basically to provide this possible partnership to identify potential collaboration between our institutions, right, Professor? So this is our main goal here today. A large portion of our students' projects, they are connected to research projects or R&D projects or government incentives, many of which receive support from funding agencies like CNPq, CAPES, FINEP, and FAPESC. Those can be federal organizations or state organizations, among other institutions such as private enterprises, private companies as well. These resources, they cover not only scholarships, but they also cover for infrastructure improvements, buying equipment, and things like that. Our team here is composed by 12 professors, and they come from diverse fields. We have computer science, we have education, data processing technology, we have electrical engineering, oceanography as well, computer engineering, production engineering. So this diverse expertise enables our faculty to tackle a wide range of applications in computing through our research groups. These research groups, I will detail them later, as well as our laboratories, which I present them now. So the Laboratory of Applied Intelligence, or LIA, it covers AI applied in healthcare, in education, and the environment. The Laboratory of Embedded and Distributed Systems cover a range from designing integrated systems on a single chip or up to ensuring security in distributed computing systems. So this also includes the use of computing systems integrated into larger systems, which are embedded systems, and also systems that are dedicated to equipment automation. We also have research on assistive technologies like robotic systems and inclusive digital technologies. Other laboratory, which is the Laboratory of Technological Innovation in Education, it covers innovative technologies applied in educational systems, such as products and processes aimed at educational activities. We also have IoTech Lab that covers Internet of Things solutions, which I will detail later since I'm part of it right now. And we have the 4Vision Lab that covers visual processing of information based on the analysis of images and videos. Now we'll talk about our newest laboratory, which is not finished yet, but very soon will be available for our researchers and possible researchers from Pennstate, Harrisburg, in a possible collaboration, to conduct researches in the field of Internet of Things. So this is IoTech Lab. It's designed by Professor Mauricio de Campos, which submitted a proposal project to FAPESC in order to gather funds to create infrastructure to develop technologies in smart cities. So in this case, Professor Mauricio was contemplated by the funding, and now I'm working directly with him to make this possible. The initial idea of this project, which became a laboratory, come from the global impacts caused by climate change. We are increasingly witnessing extreme weather events, such as rising temperatures and changes in climate patterns. Sometimes we experience hotter summers and colder winters, or even non-stop rain that results in flooding. That's why there is a need to create an infrastructure for climate forecasts, the creation of public policies and effective mitigation actions. So these will be the motivation to propose this project. But to make this feasible, it's necessary an infrastructure capable of developing sensors to collect those important climate variables. These climate variables can be like air quality, it can be temperature, humidity, solar radiation, wind speed, among other variables. So the goal here is to collect real-time data with high precision and good sensitivity. But the thing is that in some cases, these sensors must be placed in hard-to-reach areas. For example, imagine a sensor to measure precipitation on the top of a mountain. It's remote, it faces extreme environment conditions where manual data collection is challenging or even not possible, right? So this type of sensor must be reliable, it must be robust, and it needs to communicate with the cloud or a central controller. Imagine if this mountaintop doesn't have grid electricity. So in this case, this sensor must have an energy generation system as well as a storage system. For instance, a photovoltaic panel with a battery storage system. So the goal of this laboratory is to provide the infrastructure needed to create this type of sensors for this kind of applications. So the idea is to install 25 LoRa antennas throughout the Itajaí Valley region. With this, we can create a communication network capable of transmitting the data collected by those sensors that we will create in the laboratory. And this will constitute a network of connected sensors, which are connected to the internet. And for this specific project, why we are using LoRa? We are using LoRa because it's a low cost, a low energy consuming solution, and it's easy to install. So this LoRa network is capable of a long range connection. In this case, it varies from 4 up to 12 kilometers of range. And they will provide a secure network to transmit data from our sensors to the cloud. And then we can use this data, use this information to provide public policies and many other solutions. So this is a base comparison between LoRa technology with other different technologies. So LoRa the range of LoRa is greater than Wi-Fi or low energy Bluetooth, for instance, as similar as a cellular network, but it consumes low energy and it's cheaper. So that's why we are intending to use LoRa for these solutions in the lab. I have here an image to show some potential measurements that we can take using the sensors that we will develop in the IoTech lab. For instance, in a home, we can measure water usage. When combined with data from multiple homes, we can help to identify potential leaks, for instance. The same applies for electricity consumption. By integrating the electricity consumption with solar radiation data, we can assess the photovoltaic generation potential in a specific area. So this information can help with power dispatch and load management for utility companies, for example. In the transport sector, we can detect local pollutant emissions in a transport company. For autonomous vehicles, for example, we can gather data on geolocation, data about speed, and much more different data. So the sensors can either be stationary, like those that I just give the example we used in homes, or then the sensors can be mobile. They can be installed on the vehicles to measure temperature or precipitation in various locations throughout the day. In agriculture, for instance, we can sense weather information such as solar radiation, atmospheric pressure, maybe even wind speed. Or we can use the sensors to collect data from the soil, such as moisture levels and even chemical composition of the soil. And from water, we can measure river levels, precipitation, and this information can be used to predict floods, for example. So all this data from these sensors that we intend to develop here in the IoTech lab, they will be collected, this data, and they will be transmitted through the LoRa communication infrastructure to a cloud. From there, from the cloud, we can download the information to develop solutions like public policies, prevention strategies, and many others. So this will be done using IoTech lab infrastructure. This lab is linked to the master's program in applied computing of Univali, where me, Professor Mauricio, and many other professors will be developing solutions based on computer sciences. This project came from a funding from FAPESC. So Professor Mauricio submitted this project and it was approved in FAPESC to build this infrastructure. So the idea is to provide infrastructure for later on develop researches. This laboratory is currently under construction. So this is the project layout. The equipments are being bought and they are being installed as soon as they arrive. We are currently waiting for the arrival of a hardware in the loop system from OpenRT, which is a real-time simulator to test many operational conditions on the hardware we will develop in this lab. So the idea is to develop those sensors, connect this device to the hardware in the loop system, and test different operational conditions to verify the robustness of our devices. With these screens, we intend to develop a control center for monitoring data from the sensors. This video then can be used as well for presentations, for conferences with research collaborators, to show projects for possible funding partners such as companies and enterprises. And now, today, this is how it looks like. So the laboratory is under construction right now, but we are evolving quickly. Here we have workbenches for assembling, for reworking, and for repairing hardware, sensors, and all the devices that we intend to develop here. All the necessary tools and equipment will be available here for the students and researchers. We have also computers for researchers to conduct their studies. This is how it looks like today. So we have the computers already installed. We have also these workbenches for assembling, for reworking and repairing, assembling and repairing hardware. So the goal of this project is to create the necessary infrastructure for future research projects. And very soon we'll be able to start those researchers. And for that, it will be great to have collaboration from Pennstate, Harrisburg University. And we hope that maybe, Professor Omid, you could link us, connect us with similar research from your university, similar researchers. Maybe you have some names to share with us today. And thank you very much for your attention. Hopefully, I hope that we can work together. I did a quick search about the projects of your institution. I see some initiatives about smart home research, smart home management systems like solar power tracking system, improving health, air quality. Another research that I look for comes from sustainable bioenergy. We intend to install a hydrogen generation system here, green hydrogen, to produce hydrogen with clean energy. And so maybe you can share with us right now some connections, possible names. I will be glad to hear them. Thank you, Professor.
Sure. I already noticed that you guys are doing a lot of work on sensors, right? So that's another thing that I noticed. And I think even some of the thing on antenna you had, and so on. So I do have the specific individuals that I probably need to talk to, and I think they may be, if you could email me maybe your information so that I could get in touch with you to send the name of those individuals to you. I think that may be the best way to go. I will talk to them myself. I have a computer scientist who, if he is not involved, and you all, I don't know if you guys do any. I mean, I thought you did some on security, network securities, and security in general. So that's his area of expertise. But he does have other colleagues who actually work on a computational thing, like data mining and other things. I rather than talking to a lot of them, I'm gonna just have one of them who is a key individual. He's a department chair for the computer science. I will put you in connection with him. And then for the antenna area, I have one specific individual who's really a guru in that area. So it'd be a good connection with you. I think once those connections are made, then other people could join also because of the detail of the expertise, I guess.
Nice, that's perfect. I was thinking here, maybe if I share in your email my presentation, you can share it with them, and they will have plenty of information about our research lines, even our staff members. That will be great. I really appreciate that. Since you have these professors that are directly related to our research topics, it will be great to hear from them and to share knowledge, share some findings. That will be great. I appreciate that.
No problem. I mean, if I was younger, I would join you in the distributed parameters part, because that's the area that I did a lot of research, but I cannot claim that anymore.
That's not, Professor, please, for curiosity purposes, can you talk a little bit about your line of work now, before your retirement, right? What you have been doing now? I've seen some work related to special funding for students. Can you talk a little bit about that? That's really interesting as well.
So the special funding is simple. That came about when I have been the vice chancellor or vice rector, if you want to call that. This is not by selection here. It's a process. It's different. We get hired for that type of position or whatever. I was a dean for about 9 years, and then I became the vice chancellor. And I was in that position for about 13 years. During that time, I handled all of the campus's operation and academic activities. So I was the one in charge of all of the international affairs of the campus, from budget, from research, from everything. Everything was under me in many ways. Everybody reported. We have 24 units. They all reported to my office somehow. And so that meant that I was involved with a lot of activities. But the key part on the academic side was research activities, of course, and also curriculum development and curriculum matters and this and that. So one of the things that I also dealt with was the students. I saw a lot of the students suffering financially. So when you saw that fund, I used to just, when the student had issue, I used to just help them from my pocket. And then eventually I created a fund for that. And then when I stepped on from that position last year, the university decided to make that in my honor, as to have my name on it. That's emergency fund for students who have difficulty paying maybe the tuition, or emergency fund if there's something bad happened to their families, that all of a sudden they have to go visit them and they don't have money to travel and this and that. So it's really an emergency situation. It's not for scholastic. It's not for research.
It's a short-time solution.
It is a short-term solution for really needy people and so on and so forth. And that's again, it's a humanitarian thing, I guess. That's how it got started. But as far as other activity goes, just because I was involved with our faculty in research, the research we have a vice chancellor for research right now. That I actually was handling that position also. That position was for a couple of years. I was acting there to assist them as almost interim, and whoever was in that office was working under my operation, as an example, for a few years. So I because of that, I was quite involved with various research activity. I also have been a really big instrumental in many ways, not big, instrumental in making all of the international activities happen. We have a memorandum of understanding or memorandum of agreement with 17, 18 universities, and these all have gone through me. I was the one who initiated it in many ways, or there was a few, maybe a couple of them some other people were involved, like the one with you guys, or Chancellor was involved, but all other ones, just been my effort since 2003, 2004. I've been involved with international affairs, working with various countries, European countries, South American countries, some Middle East countries, various Asian countries, and a couple of African countries, but not as much as we want to. But that's going to actually take off, hopefully, soon, because they are focusing on that now. So, and that collaboration has various dimensions. Some of them are just academic, maybe faculty exchange, where faculty from different places, like you guys, could have a faculty exchange that for short period or a long period, you're welcome to come to us and work with our faculty on projects and this and that. And we will host you, or long period, if you have a sabbatical, you want to be somewhere for 1 year, 1 semester, we will host you here. And there's also student mobility. It's not student exchange. We have some of that also. We had one with the Spain and Germany. Students exchange a bit different because there has to be one-on-one exchange. That's some of the things that I do a lot these days, that is international affairs, since last year. And student study abroad, for example, the student could go to another country, or they come to us. A student could go for short term somewhere, for a short period of time. But there are activities such as 1+1. We do master degree with other institution that is 2 years, 1 year. Our master is 2 years program. So they do 1 year in their own country and 1 year with us, and they get dual degree. They get a degree from their own country and they get a degree from us. And
we have that as well here at Univali. And awesome. One of our intentions is to link the masters in applied computing with these kind of connections with different institutions from different countries. So where we can not only exchange information about research projects, but as well as in the formation of our future masters and future PhDs in this area. So I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, so actually this is one thing that I'm going to mention one more thing, and then I'm going to say just something that connect these two. The other one is what we call a sandwich PhD program, where a student does 1 year or 2 years with you guys, or 1 year and 2 years with us. They don't have to, they only get a degree from the place that they are coming from. Like our student could be coming there for 1 year or 2 years. But one of the key thing there is, also with the 1+1, when we do that, we also will have the faculty from other institutions to be on the dissertation committee or a thesis committee. The reason is this will then bring those two faculty, one from your side, one from us, together, because they will be co-advisor almost to that student. That will then create a relationship between those two faculty, and that relationship we hope to sustain, to go after bigger grant and other things. There are a lot of grant that is between U.S. and South America. It's out there. We need to put people together to go after them, and I think that's where you could create some of those things. So that's one thing. The other one, I think, you mentioned some of the data you use for public policies, and then obviously we do have that particular department here, but we do also have a smart home as part of, not a smart home, as we have a smart home center or project, and we also have a smart city project as a requirement for our PhD programs. So that's where I could see some connection happen, whether, it could be, of course, it will be both ways. If you're hoping to use your expertise as well as ours for you. So those are the areas that I think there are good possibilities. Again, unless I spend time on detail with faculty, I would not know who a specific faculty would be. The two that I told you are the one that I think right away could be connecting to you. On a smart city, it may be more than one person and so on. So on public policy area, more than maybe one person, but that has to grow as we move forward. But I think the 1+1 master program, it is not in our agreement right now, but that's something that I encourage you university to do if in the future, that to me, if it does, and also the sandwich program with PhD, that's something that could bring research collaboration to a different level and also make sustainable connection between us. Faculty exchanges are wonderful. I know our friend Veronica and some of her colleagues may be visiting us in fall, but for that maybe short period, but this could be an opportunity for a lot of other people in the future.
Certainly. Nice, Professor. I'm glad to hear about all of these things you are telling me. And first, with all these activities that you perform, it's completely understandable why you have been away from publication and research groups, because one person can do all of that and then do research as well. That's really difficult. About these exchange programs, they interest us a lot, because one of the main goals from us to you and from you to us today is to build these connections. Professor Mauricio raised his hand.
Thank you, Professor Ansary. It's a great pleasure to have you with us, even virtually. Look forward to sharing knowledge and research with you and your partners. It will be an honor to collaborate, and we are excited about the advancements and we can achieve together. We can schedule additional meetings to discuss with other researchers for your institution, present our ideas, and explore the potential collaborations. It's a nice pleasure. Welcome you in our event.
Thank you. I think one of the things, I appreciate that. Thank you so much for your kind and welcoming gesture. One of the things that we perhaps could do is if Professor Jordan, if you could have, when you communicate with me, one of the things that I perhaps can do is have our vice chancellor of research. I think that may be the key and you have a meeting, or on your colleagues have meetings, and then go from there and identify individuals. She probably would be the right person, because she's working so closely with them. She may be the right person. I could also have the director of our, which is really dean of our engineering and science. We have a School of Science, Engineering and Technology. So we have, I thought Dr. Sairam will join us today, but he is our top-notch scientist here. I didn't see him. I don't see him on the screen. He was invited. I believe he accepted to join, but I don't see him. Maybe he is here. I cannot see it. But anyway, he is in a certain area that perhaps works with both engineer and scientists in various areas. I mean, he may be somebody also joining you guys in addition to the engineering group. He's really a top-notch researcher. He's going after a grant of $160 million as we speak right now. So, and that he was invited to go for that grant. So those kind of things that he does. His area is biofuel and biology and plant engineering in many ways. Very well established individual. He has his own center called Center for Biofuel. He has been a leading faculty here. I mean, I'm sure when you have our vice chancellor there, she would bring Dr. Sairam and others along to meet with you. Maybe
that's perfect.
That meeting
she can
or
connect
later
us.
meeting.
Yeah. And actually, these possible collaborations, they are not only limited to engineering and applied computing. We hopefully, with your bridge, we hopefully make contact with those personnel that can interact with us and provide some possible future collaborations. Professor, those names that you have cited about the specific areas, I will be really glad if you share with us, and also this person that is strictly related to the research projects of your university. So I believe that the best way to communicate with each other will be exchanging emails. I can send you my presentation, so you can share them with the ones that you consider the most the right person to make this connection, right? But first, I would like to thank you very much first for your time, for coming here today to share your experience, to share some possible potential collaboration names, and to make this contact possible. And I would like to thank you for participating in our Science Day event. This is important because this internationalization can provide us not only contacts, not only sharing research interests, but also with people like you. You are a colleague of mine, electrical engineer. We both are, so that's great to talk with someone like you and with your experience mostly. So thank you very much for our collaboration, for your time. Can you share with me your email? I don't know if maybe the organizers have it, but if you could spell to me, I can write it down right now, and I can send you some.
This is for you and your colleagues. Is A X A number 8. So A Apple X Xerox A Apple number 8.
Yep.
AXA8 at PSU.
At PSU AD.
PSU.edu.
Okay. Can you verify on the chat if I write it correctly?
Sure.
That's right. Boom.
AXA8, that's correct, 100%.
Nice. Thank you very much, Professor. I will share mine as well.
Thank you.
So then you see that that's me communicating with you. Professor, I believe that's it. Again, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for your participation. In the name of Univali, I express my gratitude for your participation. I wish you a very nice day. I don't know if it's day or afternoon where you are right now, but thank you very much, Professor.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. Really. Are we there still?
Yep, we're here.
Yeah. It is really my pleasure to be able to be here. I'm sorry for the little bit of an issue here with my internet.
No problem at all.
It's not. I was out of my control for whatever reason. It happened. We do all of good things for internet, for developing things and so on and so forth. Best internet possible, but then we suffer ourselves from it. So that's okay. Thank you so much. And again, I am grateful to all of you guys at Univali for I did meet. I came to your campus once.
You did? Nice.
Yeah. So I did have a chance to visit some of your campus, but not the laboratories. Hopefully, maybe the next time if I'm in Brazil, even though I'm retired from Pennstate, but I would like to come and visit.
We'll be glad to receive you here. When was the year that you came here?
We were there in February, but I was there.
This year?
Yeah, we came
nice.
here. Yeah, I think Dr. Veronica Guster, whatever. She was there, and then I don't know Camelia's last name. I don't remember, but she was the one in charge of international. She welcomed us. Your vice chancellor or vice rector was there, and your rector came. Vice rector, your rector came here. We don't use that word. We use president more. Came and visited us. And then I have put them in contact with at least one of our faculty member. But it has been a pleasure really working with you guys, even though it has been a short period of time. I hope to see you guys in person someday.
Me too.
Whether I am, I will be an emeritus professor of Pennstate at that time, and who knows? Maybe I'll go back to some of my research and do research collaboration with you guys.
Nice, perfect. Thank you, Professor. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Have a nice day.